Gaming news. Back to XDefiant. Val Jaguar, right? Don't get me started on her. But XDefiant, they are announcing their update, and they have the features. And it has content from the 5 planned seasons. So this last season has content from whatever other season that they had planned before they decided they're going to shut down. So since all the game is dead, XDefiant now because it's June. June is the last. I said it was that's too long. I said it was too long, but apparently they're going to keep rolling along here. So XDefiant is preparing for the ultimate wind down ahead of its inevitable closure in just a few months. It was recently confirmed by Ubisoft and XDefiant that XDefiant will be taken offline in June, on June 3rd. But before then, the team has pushed out one final patch that includes a staggering amount of content. So that's funny. Per the patch notes and confirmed by Mark Rubin on Twitter, the Season 3 update for XDefiant includes additional content from the next 5 seasons, which will otherwise never see the light of day. So let's see what these updates are. So Mark Rubin said, Ubisoft has not only allowed a small team to stay on and continue working to get our Season 3 content out the door, but we've also been able to add some extra content to this release from future seasons. So we have our Season 3 content, plus some of the content from Season 4, 5, 6, 7, and even 8. Dang, just imagine if they were able to get to Season 8. Just imagine if they were able to get to Season 8, man. They had some very ambitious plans there with this game. When you're adding 3 new factions in this patch with the assassins. So remember we were talking about that, and we spoke about that on the pod. But that was one of the classes that people were asking for. It's like, why don't you put the assassins in here? But my retort was, well, I mean, they're going to be shooting guns, right? And I don't know, like it's gonna be a little weird, but apparently nobody cared. They're like, okay, nope, just put the assassins in there. So they're coming. They're coming, as you can see there. The assassins will be on the way. And that was actually planned for this season, Season 3. But also the Wolves and Omega Force from Seasons 4 and 5 will be on the way. Along with the new factions come 6 new arena maps. Okay, so we're bringing newer maps. And 3 new linear maps that were planned to be released further down the line. That's a total of 13 new maps. But if you never downloaded XDefiant, you will not be able to access them, which makes them somewhat rare. That's actually crazy, right? So you bring this big old patch, right? And they've been said, if you have not registered for this game, you can't play it. So technically, I can still re-download it and play it. But if anybody's wanted to try it out now, you want to try it out, you can't. So dang, sorry. I don't think I'll ever go back and try, but it's interesting though. It's interesting. I wonder what the player count's going to be like after this. This includes a new Rayman map. So it's coming out with the Rayman map that was scheduled for a takeover event midway through Season 4. Also, Season 3 marks the arrival of a more esports focused mode, Diffuse. So we know what Diffuse is. That is a search and destroy mode. So that was another thing when I asked a question on Twitter. What happened with this game that made it fall off? And someone did mention that there was no search and destroy mode. Now it's here. So that's interesting. I wonder will people come back because now they're actually giving you what you want. So maybe this Season 3 was trying to be a banger, even without them saying that the game's going to shut down. So that's interesting. Those who still playing would also have access to Llama Hunt, Tilt, Turbo XD, and a versus bots mode. Llama Hunt, that sounds like Prop Hunt. Is that Prop Hunt? They just call it Llama Hunt. Tilt, Turbo XD. I don't know what those other game modes are, but okay. This is all in addition to new weapons. It's funny they got a bots mode in there too. Just in case if they don't have their player base, you can play against bots. This is all in addition to new weapons such as the G36K, M1A, and Cesaro's pistol. Everything that was added behind battle passes has been unlocked for the audience still able to access the game. It's one hell of an update, but it's a farewell patch at best for XDefiant. So that's interesting. I find it funny. It's almost ironic that right as you say, hey, the game has been sunsetted, like June 3rd is going to be the last day that you can play this game online. Right after that, you actually had a pretty decent, as far as what this is showing, or what they're telling us, sound like a pretty decent Season 3. They're adding things that people actually asked for, new maps, a new game mode, Diffuse, that they actually wanted. New classes. You finally get to play as the assassins. So those three things alone, sounded like something that people who actually played the game, who wanted to see these features, are going to get, but they're only going to get until it's too late. So it sucks. It sucks, man. Maybe if they had a little bit more time, but the Ubisoft shareholders and execs said, "No, we gotta pull that plug. We are bleeding here. It's too late." So it's a shame, but I hope that maybe some people, the people that can still play the game, come back and try these out. Maybe it'll be okay. But as you said, Ginseng, you said add everything but anti-cheat. I know, right? And Taco, you got too many games to play. I know, way too many games to play, and that's the thing. I'm just like, man. All right. And then on the other side, the actual XDefiant killer, because they say XDefiant was a Call of Duty killer. But now the XDefiant killer, one of the most prominent and popular men in Call of Duty history, Nadeshot, is apparently frustrated at Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Oh man, what a surprise, right? What a surprise that this man is upset at Call of Duty. Y'all remember Warzone, the last Warzone before Black Ops 6 came out. You remember all of those Warzone folks, we called them the Warzone refugees. They all went over to Apex, right? Because they were tired of the cheaters. Oh my God, I'm so tired of the cheaters in Warzone, man. I can't play the game. So all those Warzone refugees went over to Apex. Now the same cycle is happening again. What a freaking surprise. This happens every year. Call of Duty and 2K, it happens every single year. You all complain about the same stuff that you did the previous iteration. You all are delusional. You all are insane. You all are thinking that there's going to be some changes. Oh, this one, they're going to get it right. They're going to get it right. And every year you all get disappointed. So, Nadeshot has stressed on his stream. Hey, didn't cheater showed up on Apex. What, how ironic, right? Nadeshot has expressed on stream that he is stepping away from Call of Duty to play other games. Why does it have to be an announcement, first of all? I find it hilarious. Oh my God. This is what happens when you get yourself, stuck in a box. Because again, people know Nadeshot for playing Call of Duty. Like that's his life. No matter what he thinks, that's what he's gonna be known as. So it's funny that the people who are stuck, put themselves in that box, even though Nadeshot is wildly successful, but the people who get themselves stuck in the box, they have to announce that they're gonna go and play other games. Why don't you just go play whatever the hell you want? Like, you're rich, bro. Like, just play whatever the hell you want. You don't have to explain yourself. But in any case, we're talking about it now. So you're going to play other games until the anti-cheat mechanics are fixed. So as I said before, last year in Warzone, they had the same problems. The cheaters were running rampant. They were insane. It made the game not fun. And a lot of those guys who were playing Warzone went over to play Apex or Fortnite or some other games. In recent weeks, pro players worldwide have been writhing in agony every time they play ranked on Black Ops 6 because the mode is inundated with cheaters. Now, I know that if you get caught cheating, you get sent to purgatory where you play with other cheaters, but that still doesn't stop them from getting into and littering the regular game. So cheaters are running rampant once again. And now the pro players and other players alike are getting upset. Recently, Team Ricochet and Activision anti-cheat team admitted that it missed the mark. We'll read that article in a second. With Black Ops 6 anti-cheat ecosystem. Oh, you think you missed the mark? And promised the upgrades are on the way. Okay, they promised that upgrades are on the way, but they're several weeks in the distance. Oh man. Okay. In a recent stream, Nadeshot explained, we'll just watch the video. We'll just watch the video here. Let him say it. Or I don't know what the heck is happening here. Yeah, I don't know why it's like that. I don't know. That's weird. Anyways, we'll find it here. Because I actually commented on the tweet. I don't know what's going on with his, but where are we at? All right.
Call of Duty has served us up a pile of shit from a network performance standpoint. They won't invest in better servers, higher tick rate servers. There's no server protections.
Oh man, who's that sound like? What do we complain? What other game we complain about? I just mentioned it already. What other game we complain about? The servers are ass, and they never upgrade them. They never do anything with it. Freaking 2K, man. Freaking 2K every single year. They never upgrade those damn servers. And we constantly have those issues. Call of Duty is the same way. Man, complaining about upgrading the servers. You can't make this up, man. You cannot make this up.
There's no safeguards to make sure players are having a fair gaming experience. The shame in all this, like the biggest issue that I have with all this is that Black Ops 6 is actually a lot of fun. The game is fun for me to play.
I actually agree with that. Black Ops 6 is a hell of a lot of fun. But yeah, I would understand if this is a game you play every single day for hours upon end, that if you run into these cheaters at, every game or every other game, yeah, it's not fun. But at the same time, again, I don't just play Black Ops 6. So again, I shout out to those people, man. You gotta have a strong mental to deal with that. I understand it's frustrating. But again, just him, listing his problems and his gripes. But he plays every single Call of Duty iteration, and I don't know if Nadeshot is just delusional like everybody else, expecting different results, but you're getting the exact same results every single year. So when do you as a person just put your foot down and be like, no, I'm not going to play. I'm not even going to give any other Call of Duties a chance. It's hard. They can't do it. They simply cannot do it. When a new game comes out, they're like, oh my God, I got to get that content. I got to get early access. It's my favorite franchise. I just have to play it. The FOMO gets them. Or making that money gets them, and they just got to play. They refuse to go on and move on to something else and start creating content and stream these other games that are actually fun and don't have these problems. I just don't understand how you can't do that. Like, I've never been a person we get into these modes where we like games and we'll play them for a little bit, but I've never been the type of person that I'm like, I'm going to sit there and just deal with the game that doesn't work. Either servers, optimization, cheaters, you name it. That's why I stopped playing 2K. I'm like, look, the game is not working for me. I'm not having fun, so I'm not going to play the game anymore. And I took a stand, right? I haven't played with the last two iterations. I think I maybe played the 2 years ago, but I didn't play last year. I didn't play the year before, so I'm skipping years. Like, I'm not dealing with this anymore, right? Like, it's the same old stuff. And Call of Duty, even though Black Ops 6 was fun, but I had to get convinced. If it wasn't no Game Pass, I probably wouldn't have played it, to be honest. If it wasn't no Game Pass, I probably wouldn't have played it. Because I know what I'm getting into with Call of Duty. It's the same old stuff. They're not going to change. Just because you're Activision with Microsoft now, they're not going to change. It's the same stuff. It's still Activision. What up, Paladin? It becomes their identity. Yeah, exactly. The next meta loadout. Yeah, man. It's just content. I wish more people were just honest. Just be honest with yourself. You're dealing with it. That's what a lot of these content creators end up doing. It doesn't matter what game that they play, whatever their game of choice is that blew them up. They're dealing with it at this point, and you could tell a lot of these people are frustrated. They have seen success, and shout out to them. Playing one game. People know you for that, but at what cost? At what cost? Because further down the line, then people are going to be looking for you to be playing that one game or that one franchise for years upon years upon years. And eventually you just get sick of it, but you feel like you can't, because if you try to pivot to something else, then your audience won't follow you, which means you're going to lose money. Just admit it. And I feel like it'll make yourself feel better, and at least you're honest with your audience that, hey, I'm doing this for money. Because I know this is what y'all want to see me play, and I know that I'm scared if I want to try to play something else that I really enjoy, that you all might not watch me anymore. You all might not mess with my content. But that's the box that you put yourself in, unfortunately. And I keep talking about this, make it seem like I'm an expert, but again, I'm just saying from what I've seen over the years, it's been like this. And I told myself from the beginning, I'm not gonna put myself in a box. I'm play whatever the hell I want, and I hope that you all come here, for the game. Like, obviously, a lot of you want to see the game, but I want you all to come in here for the personality and the vibes and stuff. So, like, we've developed that, that niche community that I don't think you all care exactly what we all play. You all come in there for the conversation, the vibes, the community, and stuff like that. Not necessarily the game carrying me and carrying GI's content. So,
if it were working properly, the core mechanics of the game are fun. I enjoy the movement. I enjoy the gunplay. I enjoy some parts of the foundation of the game, but I can't play it. I can't enjoy it. There's no integrity. Somebody's cheating, or the network sucks, or the game is broken. I'm certainly not retiring from Black Ops 6, but I definitely will not be playing it every day. I just can't. I don't enjoy it enough to sit here and play it every day. They made a great game, but then they try to save money for their shareholders, for the bottom line, for their business units, their P&L. They think nobody will notice, nobody will care. The times have changed. Call of Duty.
I keep telling y'all, bro. Like, yeah, they don't care, and they're never going to care. Why? Because you keep giving them money. Like, I don't understand why this is so difficult to understand. As long as you keep giving them money, they are going to do the bare minimum every single iteration. Money talks. If people take a stand and be like, I'm not going to put up with this anymore, we said the same thing for the 2K community as soon as VC got introduced. Stop buying VC for your characters. Stop feeding into the bull that they are feeding you. Stop it. I promise you, you have to have some sort of gall. You have to have some sort of cojones, some sort of self-respect, some sort of self-control to stop buying these games. When you stop buying these games and the shareholders take a look, we've already seen this so many times, but Call of Duty is a juggernaut. 2K is a juggernaut. So it's not going to affect them in the same way that a small studio that made Concord, for example, a brand new IP, and they end up bombing. It's not going to affect them the exact same way, but it will at least put them on notice and said, hey, the community does not like what we are doing. So maybe we should actually change and make things better, right? Like, please, I beg of you, gaming community, please get some cojones, dog. It's getting ridiculous. And I'm tired of seeing people complain about these same franchises that continue to once again give you the bare minimum every single year. It's not cool. It's not cool to hear y'all constantly whine and complain and have to announce that you're going to play something else. Because again, Nadeshot is only one person. Yes, he is well known in the Call of Duty community, but do you think that Nadeshot alone is going to make a change? No. Do you think that Nick Merckx is going to make a change by himself? No. Do you think that Courage by himself is going to make a change? No. We need to band together. Get your audience, man. Get your audience like, nah, man, just take a stand. It needs to be a strike going on, man. Stop buying all the battle passes, stop buying the coins, stop buying VC, stop buying all that in-game currency for all this stuff that won't even matter as soon as the next game comes out. Don't buy the game. Don't buy the game. Take a stand and be like, oh man, looks good. Looks good. I want to play it, but I'm not gonna do it this year. Once you hit that bottom line, then yeah, they gonna start turning around. They gonna ask, hey, what happened? What happened? Why did the sales for this game, or why are they so low compared to last year's? They're gonna look at the numbers because that's all that they care about. That's all the shareholders care about are numbers. And when they see those numbers, and when it gets significant enough, then they're gonna start panicking. They're going to start panicking. So like I said, man, I can go on this rant all day, but and again, I'm just one person. I know people aren't going to change because that's just the way that we are. People are just stuck on their particular games and their franchises that they enjoy. I mean, as you can see, we literally went over the Steam charts, and people play an average of 4 games on Steam per year. 4 games, like that's wild, and they're not new games either. So again, it's just telling you, man, it's. I apparently I don't know nothing, man. Apparently I don't know nothing. Scump catch more viewership in the watch parties next to CDL streaming. Kamuda need to bomb himself. He had the balls. And I said someone need to take a bigger stand, man. So Dion said no use to complain, just stop interacting with the bad content and move on. Yeah. Apparently that's too hard to do. Apparently that's too hard to do. Just creators are too scared to mess up relationship they made with the guy. Yeah, that too. They've already made a relationship with their with these companies. So I mean, I don't want to say that they're slaves, but it kind of ends up being that way. They're slaves to the system that they've unfortunately contributed to. So and then let's read some more into the anti-cheat. We were talking about the anti-cheat a little bit, but the Activision devs admitted that the anti-cheat wasn't good enough. I saw this, I just started to laugh, man, because how can you not? Of course not. In a blog post on the Call of Duty site, Activision has expressed what's next for Team Ricochet. Ricochet is one of the worst anti-cheats I've ever seen. One of the worst anti-cheats I've ever seen. The post addressed the launch of Black Ops 6 and the subsequent release of ranked play, which was marred by an influx of cheaters that made grinding a miserable, impossible experience. In a line, the team admitted that the anti-cheat systems used in Black Ops 6 simply weren't good enough. So the blog post says, in full, after a series of updates Our systems are in a better place today across all modes. However, we did not hit they're in a better place today. All right. However, we did not hit the mark for the for the integration of Ricochet anti-cheat at the launch of season 1, particularly for rank play. On social media, pro players worldwide will lamenting the state of rank play, revealing clips showing them constantly brushing up against cheaters and malicious operators. So Activision also said, we understand the promise of glory and notoriety from rank play leaderboards makes rank play an attractive target for cheaters. For this reason, our teams have been especially focused on turning the tide to deliver the competitive arena our players seek. To that end, several key changes are now being implemented. In addition to the 19,000 accounts already banned, the team is promising to increase velocity on suspensions to kick cheaters from the game much faster. Team Ricochet has also started to provide further training for AI-based detection systems. Ricochet's kernel level driver and server-side protections are set to receive some serious upgrades that'll be deployed alongside Season 2 and Season 3 in Black Ops 6 and Warzone. So, and the blog post closes out with a request to keep reporting cheaters whenever you see them, because after all, there's only so much the automated systems can do. I've seen a lot of people actually get falsely reported too. So it's like it's like even harder, because like you have people just get upset, say that you're cheating, they're going to report you, and then you'll get suspended and at worst banned. So it ends up being a false ban. How do you prove yourself that you weren't actually cheating? And then the real cheaters end up slipping through the cracks, and then their systems end up sliding through whatever updates that Ricochet making with their anti-cheat. So it just, again, the cheaters are always 1 to 2 steps ahead of Ricochet here. So that's why the cheating continues. Whatever they're doing is not enough. They have to find out, which is going to be almost impossible here. They're going to have to find out how to catch up to the cheaters and what they're doing. So it sucks. But this is going into, again, why Nadeshot and other pro players are upset, because they can't even play ranked mode. So